Hi everyone, and welcome to our sermon recap for this week. We are continuing our journey with the children of Israel as they travel out of slavery in Egypt to freedom in the promised land, or the land flowing with milk and honey. And along the way, there are a lot of different trials or battles or temptations that they experience, and they all are descriptors of the kinds of things that we can expect to experience on our own spiritual journey. So last week we talked about them being thirsty and that they found water, but the water that they found was bitter and they couldn't drink it. This week they complained about being hungry. They cried out to the Lord because they were hungry. They said it would be better off if we had died back in Egypt instead of being out here in the wilderness. At least in Egypt we had the flesh pots or the pots of meat that we could eat as much as we wanted, but here in the wilderness we're going to die of hunger. And this trial that they experience is a picture of something that we experience on our own journey when we try to turn away from the hurtful things in our life, like leave an addiction or a bad habit, and we're left with this feeling like, what is going to replace that feeling that I had before? When am I going to feel good again? It's like if you started a diet and you're going to eat healthy food, but you had been eating junk food. You might be excited for a couple of days because of this new routine, but in a few days you start to wonder, well, is this really that much fun? When am I going to be able to eat the kinds of stuff that I used to enjoy? Like, how dry are these joys here? So this temptation is what we experience, again, as we're trying to move from a worldly way of living to a spiritual way of living. And what we suffer through is this longing for this feeling of feeling good. Israel, he gives them quail in the evening to eat that night, and then he gives them manna, which is, they don't know what it is. They call it manna, which actually means in Hebrew, what is it? And it's actually a spiritual satisfaction is what it signifies that the Lord gives us when we start to live a good life. And it's something that we have to pay attention to or look for. But if we do, it will sustain us every day of our journey. And it's interesting, the manna is said to be like coriander seeds, so these tiny little things. And you think about that each day, if we just wake up and look around us and count our blessings, it's kind of like the children of Israel gathering that manna. We're not sure what we're looking for necessarily, but we're aware that we need to open our eyes and see the blessing. And if we do that, that will be enough to sustain us and make us feel whole and carry us forward on our spiritual journey. So the task this week is really just to be mindful and to think about all the different ways that the Lord blesses us. And yeah, we can long for those flesh pots of Egypt, wishing that we had our old life. But really thought about it, like the children of Israel were in bondage. They were being beaten, they were being treated badly, they weren't free, they didn't get paid for their work. But yet they longed for that. And we can feel the same way sometimes. It's like, I wish I had that old way of living. I wish I could do those things I used to be able to do. But we know actually it comes with a sting. It comes with pain and suffering. But this new way of living, a spiritual life according to the Lord's word, will reward us in ways that we're not aware of. Like the manna, what is it? I don't know yet. But we'll know it when we start to live by it. So that's the message that we can take with us this week. May we keep our eyes open and see all the many ways that the Lord is blessing our lives each day. Have a great week. Thank you.